that we will win. I believe that we will win.
Welcome to this special edition of WCS Game Day. We are here live on location from the Bruin Nation, home of first place Lady Bruins and first place Bruins of Brentwood High School. I'm your co-host, Jimmy Qualls, and with me as always, my co-host, Tate Matthews. Welcome to Game Day. Tate, let's talk about Brentwood for a second, man. We have been waiting all year long to bring WCS Game Day here. What does this rivalry mean? We got Ravenwood coming into the house tonight for the Battle of the Woods 2. What are we in store for?
There are a lot of great rivalries in the state of Tennessee in high school athletics. You've got the Battle of the Borough in Murfreesboro, Riverdale, Murfreesboro, Oakland. But when you're talking about the premier rivalry in Tennessee, the Battle of the Woods is it. When you're talking football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, soccer, this is as good as it gets. We've got two of the best student body sections in the state.
No questions asked.
Bruin Nation, Raptor Nation, tonight's going to be huge. I'm excited to be here.
I mean, we don't have to get them pumped up. As you can see, this is just a natural thing for them. When the G2 bar section comes in tonight, it's going to be the fire marshal's going to be posted in every corner. They're going to be counting people, standing room only. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. You just can't say enough about what Brentwood Bruins. So let's talk about what's happened thus far in the WCS Sports Conference at Brentwood. Right now, there's been 5 TSSAA sanctioned sports in the fall section of the sports world, and there have been 3 runner-ups. One of them was the Ravenwood High School football team to Maryville, and obviously we know that there's no love lost here.
1 point short.
1 point short, but the other 2 runner-ups have come through Brentwood, boys cross country, boys golf state runner-ups, and the only state championship in the WCS Sports Conference in 2014-15 right now, the gold ball sits at Brentwood High School for the Lady Bruins Volleyball Club right now. Can't say enough about that. So let's talk about the volleyball team for just a second. The volleyball team nationally ranked right now. Coming out nationally ranked. They come out of the box, they lose their first game. At any given time you think, man, that's tough, lose the first game. What do they do? What do they follow up with? 60 straight wins. 60 straight wins to win the gold ball. They were number 64. There are 64, that's right, count them right. 64 state championships that are hanging on the wall here at Brentwood High School. And that's just, I mean, what can you say about that, Tate?
You can't. It's unbelievable. It shows, one, the quality of the coaching we've got here at Brentwood High School, but also the athletes and the families, the community support they have. And remember, that state championship in volleyball, out of those 64, that was their 10th. There's a lot of great dynasties in high school athletics in Tennessee. Brentwood volleyball is one of them.
Well, right before we get our first guest up, let's talk about that. You say that all the time. One for the thumb. That's right. 10 state volleyball championships. And that's going to bring us to our first guest today. Our first guest being able to be the only WCS Sports Conference state champion coach. Number 10, welcome Barbara Campbell to the stage. Let's make sure we get a good close-up of this, folks. This is some fine hardware. Number 10 in a row. Coach Campbell, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to start by talking about 3-sport star Jenny Roy. You know, not only is she playing basketball at the University of Belmont, but she was an integral part of your success this year, your team's success. What did Jenny Roy bring to the table?
Oh, Jenny Roy brought it. An elite athlete, an accomplished volleyball player, a leader. Just the energy and the enthusiasm. She inspired everyone on the team, everyone on the floor. She was MVP of the district, most valuable player of the mid-state, and also recognized as All-State. Jenny's awesome.
Coach Qualls mentioned at the beginning, 60-1. You lose the first game of the season to Siegel, and then you reel off 60 straight victories. not only is that unbelievable, but the consistency that showed. This is your 10th state championship. Have you ever had one quite like this?
This state championship, really special because their intense desire, after that first loss, they were just inspired not to lose again. And they wouldn't, and they answered, and it was just really special because of the 2-game comeback, or we were down 2 and then came back to win, and it was just their intense desire and determination, and they wanted to win more than they wanted to breathe. It was awesome.
Coach Campbell,
really
I know
exciting.
that you mentioned to that. That's great that you alluded to the fact, but let's talk about the hurdles we had to get over to win the state championship. Not only were you on a collision course to also nationally ranked at that time Siegel coming in the state championship. It had to be played at Siegel High School, and the way the Bruin Nation traveled to Siegel and made those kids go back to class after they got beat, that was a great atmosphere.
Yeah. Oh, our fans were the best, and Siegel was really proud of the fact that they'd have home court, and we were proud of the fact that we made their home our house, and it was exciting.
We spoke about the 10 state championships. I'd love to know from your end, obviously, I would think at the end of the season you start deciding, hey, when am I going to get out? Is this one of these where you just you're still having fun, so as long as you're still having fun, still playing good volleyball, maybe we're going to shoot for 15?
Oh, that's a tough question. But there's still love of game here, and I still have, a great team returning, and it's just hard to let go. And we'll keep going forward.
Well, I got one last question for you. 10 state championships. Was number 10 any different than the rest? Did it mean more? Or is it just they're all so special?
This one was exciting. I mean, last year, I didn't think that we'd be able to top it. But with that comeback and, that 61-game win streak and just that, the intense desire, it was really unbelievable.
Well, Coach Barbara Campbell has done an unbelievable job. 10 state championships. The reigning state championship right now at the AAA level of volleyball for the TSSAA. Thank you so much for joining us. It was fun. Great to watch that ride unfold for you guys in the fashion that it did. When we come back, we're gonna wrap up the basketball action for tonight's WCS Sports Conference. This is Barbara Campbell. Thank you. This is WCS Game Day. We'll be right back. Welcome back to WCS Game Day live here from Bruin Nation, Brentwood High School. Let's talk about tonight's action, WCS Sports Conference basketball action, and why not start anywhere other than right here at the Battle of the Woods 2. We know that this is going to be a hard-fought contest between the Lady Bruins and the Lady Raptors.
It is, as if this game wasn't big enough. Both of them, Brentwood in first place, trying to close out the regular season to be the district champion. But Ravenwood still has a chance if they can get a win tonight and finish out the regular season with wins. They could possibly be first place. So it was already a huge game. It's going to be a bigger game. Last time they played on January the 9th, 39-35 victory for the Lady Bruins. And they don't have a whole lot of tough games. This was a tough one. It's going to be another tough one. It's going to be a great crowd. Big time game tonight.
So let's talk about the girls' side. The Lady Bruins side first. They're coming in at 20-3. First place, as you mentioned, 9-1 in the district. That keeps Coach Siegenthaler right now looking for his girls to play tough defense. We had an opportunity to see behind the scenes of a Lady Bruins practice. Watch this. We'll be right back.
I'm Kira Lee here at the practice floor with the Lady Bruins head coach, Ronnie Siegenthaler. So, Coach, you have a core group of 3 seniors who have you off to a 21-3 record. Let's start with Jenny Roy, who leads your team in scoring.
Jenny is a tremendous athlete. one of the strongest defensive players in our league, maybe in the mid-state. She does lead our team in scoring, leads our team in blocks, leads our team in rebounding. So she is the nucleus in which we run things through. But what she brings to us is tremendous leadership. And I know you want to talk about the three seniors, but collectively those three really are one. And that chemistry has led us to that record that you had just mentioned.
All right, so Jessie Boozer is another one of them, and she is your leading three-point shooter and assist leader.
Well, she's also our point guard, and as our point guard, you would hope that that would be one of the statistics that go through your point guard, and that would be assist leader, and she is. She's also a tremendous outside threat and gives us that presence. What has been exciting about Jessie this year is her ability to handle on-ball pressure. She's really grown and matured as a player, and that has been another feather in our cap for success.
And Sarah Merritt is your leader in the post?
Sarah, she draws the toughest defensive post assignment every night, and she has never been a starter until this year, has embraced her new role, and has thrived and gotten better and better. And that, again, the culmination of those three with all the other players that step on the floor and make those contributions, that's been our blueprint.
Speaking of the other players, who else would you like to step up their game tonight?
How about that for a lead-in segment? We would hope that we would get contributions out of Abby Shealy, a sophomore, but Abby doesn't play like a sophomore. Abby's really a very mature player, as well as Taylor Sexton. Taylor is a junior, but a first-year starter. She brings a strong physical presence, a big body. She surprises people with her range to shoot, and she has been, over the last 5 games, she's been averaging 7+ rebounds, which has been a huge boost to our team.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, can I mention one more?
Yeah, sure.
Well, see, Cameron Courage, as I refer to CC, Cameron had worked her way into a starting point guard right at the end of December. Suffered an injury to her wrist, and it took longer for her to bounce back from that injury. Had a little small break in the wrist. And now that she's back, we expect great things from CC.
Thanks, Coach. I'm Kira Lee. Now back to Jeremy and Tate at game day.
As you can see, they're going through practice. Coach Sig has a great plan of action. What do we expect to see on the Lady Bruins side?
Well, first of all, when you're talking about consistency, this is the 5th straight 20-win season for the Lady Bruins. 5 years in a row with 20 wins. Obviously, this season's still going on. A lot of big-time players for them, but obviously we've got to start with Jenny Roy. How's this for a stat sheet for you? 14.6 points per game, 10.1 rebounds per game, 4 steals, 4 blocks, and 3 assists. She's doing it all, and she's quite possibly their best defender. You got to think if she comes out and plays well tonight, the Lady Bruins will be off to a good start.
And that looks good. Now let's talk about the other side of the thing. The Lady Raptors, Mariska Harris, the job that she's done. Ravenwood's coming in here, and they're looking at 16-5, 8-2 behind freshman Downey.
Kiera Downey, the standout freshman for the Lady Raptors, and you would think that would be something scary. Your number 1 player, leading scorer, is a freshman, but she's not your normal freshman. She's playing great basketball. She's averaging 13.8 points a game with Alexis Alert with 10.6. They only scored 35 last time. That's over half their points average between those 2 players. You got to think if they can shut one or both of them down, make them struggle, got a really good chance to win.
That's great. Let's talk about the WCS Sports Conference on the Division II side real quick. We're going to talk about Page, 3-16, 6th place right now playing against Cascade. They're sitting in 4th, looking to try to trade positions with Cascade.
Page has struggled all year long. They're very, very young. They're just trying to get better. This is a game they can win, move up a little bit in the standings, finish the season on a good note, go into this weekend with a win. They need to come out and play well. It's the same story, though. They're having trouble manufacturing points. If they can find a way to score, they got a really good chance.
Lady Jackets, Fairview right now, 5-14, 4-9, 6th place, kind of in the middle of their district right now, but they are coming off 2 losses in a row playing against Montgomery Central, who has yet to win a district game. You think Coach McGowan's group gets one tonight?
I think they do. This is one of the ones they knew they had to win in the district schedule. I think they get it. They're playing a little bit better ball than Montgomery Central. good way to end the regular season off on a positive note.
Absolutely. Going on to the Big Six now. Let's talk about the Big Six. Indy right now going into hosting Centennial. Centennial played really well against Ravenwood last week. Tough losses for both of them coming off into tonight's game. Indy in 6th place. Centennial in 7th place, looking to try to switch, get ready for tournament seedings.
Yeah, and Centennial's only won 6 games, but we saw them play Ravenwood earlier in the week, and they were in the lead in the 3rd quarter, very, very tight in the 4th quarter, only lost by 7 points. They had a really good game plan, played well, and Ravenwood's a good team. So even though Centennial's record might not reflect it, they're getting a lot better over there, and I think they take care of the Lady Eagles tonight.
Well, not only do we have Battle of the Woods 2 tonight, we also have Battle of the Goodwins 2 tonight. Josh Goodwin, coach of the Lady Spartans down at Summit, Old Sparty, and going against his wife there at Franklin, sitting tied for 4th. This has some interesting implications of what could happen tonight against the Battle of the Goodwins.
Exactly, and what they're fighting for is which bracket they're going to get in the district tournament seedings, and I think Franklin, they've had some really good games when they're playing. Franklin's got a little more offensive firepower. What Coach Goodwin's doing at Franklin and the Lady Rebels is really, really good. Summit has to play well defensively, but they just don't score as many points. I think Franklin has the upper hand in this one.
I agree. Carrie Goodwin right now has done an excellent job with her team. They've been in and out of games all year long. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Battle of the Goodwins. All right, so let's move to the guys' side. Guys' side of action tonight, Brentwood sitting on 1st place right now, coming in at 21-5, 8-2, 1st place after losing a hard-fought win the other night against Indy in here. I would not want to be a part of probably of Coach Dennis King's practice. Fortunately, we got to see behind the scenes of that action. Here is Coach King and the Bruins in practice.
I'm Emma Richards, here at practice with Coach Dennis King. Coach, heading into your final regular season game, the Bruins are 21-5. Let's talk about your seniors, beginning with Grant Teichman. What has he done to help your team this year?
Well, Grant has been just absolutely superb. I mean, he's had one of the best senior seasons in recent memory. He's averaging close to 20 points a game. He's a leading rebounder. He is a great defender. He's as versatile a player as I think there is in mid-state.
Jalen is leading your team in three-pointers. Also, last weekend, he scored 30 points against BA.
He was unbelievable. It was on one of the biggest stages against a very, very good Brentwood Academy team who was 19-1. There's probably 2,000-3,000 people at Allen Arena, and Jalen had a game, for the ages. He's more than just a three-point shooter. He's also disrupts on defense, and he is a great team leader. Brings unbounded enthusiasm, and it has been a joy to coach him for the last 3 years.
And you also have 3 other versatile seniors. What have they done to impact your team this season?
Well, Tanner Tapp, is probably more of a natural guard, but we had to move him down inside where he has to rebound and stick his nose in all the contact. He's done a remarkable job for us, of course, unfortunately, he's been hurt for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, but he'll be back for the Ravenwood game, and we feel like a complete team now. Ryan Hood was kind of his backup. He's an undersized post, but is as scrappy and as tenacious as a honey badger. And he just takes charges and sticks his nose in, and he brings great energy when he comes on. And Ian Benny, he is probably the surprise of the year with how effective he has been in his three-point shooting. And when we bring him in and we run some plays for him, if he's hitting, he keeps playing. If not, then we don't play him. But he's dangerous, and if teams don't know about him, he can light them up for a quick 6-9 points, and it's invaluable.
Thanks, Coach. I'm Emma Richards. Now back to Jeremy and Tate at game day.
As you can see, I'm just going to tell you, Brentwood right now, very methodical on the boys' side of things behind Grant Teichman. Grant Teichman right now, arguably one of the best guards here at Brentwood, playing well all year long. Jalen Lawson combined for 50 points with Teichman against Brentwood Academy the other night in a drubbing of Brentwood Academy.
Huge win. Brentwood Academy, one of the top teams in the mid-state, maybe the state. They only had one loss in the season. They haven't played in a long time. This was a big deal. The Bruins go in. Jalen Lawson was 7 3-pointers. They thumped him. I believe it was 26 points. Wasn't even close. So playing really good basketball. They're sitting there at 21-5. Speaking of Coach Sig and the Lady Bruins, 5 straight 21 seasons. Same thing on the boys' side. Been to 2 straight state tournaments. I think their experience is unbelievable. Grant Teichman, James McPherson, Lawson. They've played in 2 straight TSSAA state tournaments up in Murfreesboro. They've been in big games. They've played well in big games. Tonight's going to be a big game. I think they play well.
And I'm sure the Bruin Nation would agree with me. We want to see 3 state tournaments in a row. I hope that happens. But Coach Whitlock and the Raptors coming in here tonight. G2 bar travels well. It'll be packed. Atmosphere. You can throw records out the door. You can throw seedings out the door. Coach Whitlock's group right now, arguably one of the deepest teams in the district. They can play 8, 9, 10 guys right now looking to come in here and steal one from the Bruin Nation.
They definitely do. They probably have the most depth of anybody in the conference this late in the year. Maybe that plays into their favor. We played a lot of games. We got some weary legs. But that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to wear him down. Nick Barton, many remember him from football, really good football player for the Raptors. He kind of brings some of that football toughness to the team, kind of a defensive stopper. He's got to play well, but they've got to find a way to score points.
All right, let's move it on real quick. Division II, we look at Page going in. 1-point loss from Marshall County. Tough loss against Cascade. Do we see them winning that game against Cascade?
They got a big win against Spring Hill. I think they do. We've talked about it. I think they're getting better all year long. I think they beat Cascade.
Yeah, Fairview at Lewis County. Fairview coming off their first district win at Lewis County. I think they got a shot to get another one.
They do. It's one they can win. They're going to have to play well, but it's one they can win.
Big Six, Indy right now playing against Centennial tonight, hosting Centennial. Indy coming off the big win here. Centennial coming off the big win against Ravenwood. I think that's an interesting matchup.
It is. Both of them are playing well. Indy played very well against Brentwood, scoring a lot of points. So they're healthy for the first time in a long time. They're playing well.
Well, they're both sitting there tied for 4th with the old Sparty at Summit. So this is going to be tonight's moving night for the WCS Sports Conference. Big game for those guys.
There'll be some really good guard play between the Carters in that game, and the Murphys in that game.
Yep, absolutely. The Rebellion of Franklin right now sitting outright in second place. If Franklin wins out, Brentwood loses again. Franklin's going to win the district outright, but got to go through old Sparty tonight. Could be an interesting matchup.
That's right. They don't match up well with them. They both pose matchup problems for each other. Franklin very big, Summit very quick, got the guard play. This game is, not only is the Brentwood game big for Ravenwood tonight, so is that Franklin game for second place.
When we come back from WCS Game Day, we were going to be joined by the coaches of the Lady Bruins, Coach Sigenthaler and Coach Dennis King of the Bruins. This is WCS Game Day. We'll be right back. Edition of WCS Game Day. We are joined by the coaches of the Lady Bruins, Ronnie Sigenthaler and Dennis King, coach of the Bruins. Both of you sitting in first place right now. Tell us, what does this bring to the table?
It's a great opportunity when this rival gets together, because that basketball team right there for the Lady Bruins gets an opportunity that you don't get every night. We play in front of a packed house, and it happens a couple of times a year, and it is a great privilege and honor for them to be able to showcase all the hard work in front of a crowd like that.
Absolutely.
Coach Sig, we mentioned earlier you've got your 5th straight 20-win season. This one isn't over. Talk about consistency. I know you talk a lot about it, and for those that don't know, you don't consider the Lady Bruins basketball program a team. It's a program. Talk about what that means to you.
It's something that is sustainable, and that's what the next team does, and the next team. It's not just an assembly of talent. It is exactly what we're trying to do on the offensive and defensive end, and the players buy into that, and you can sustain. And we've been very blessed and fortunate to do that with great players.
You had a lot of really good players here on the Lady Bruins side. Jenny Roy, we mentioned her earlier, 14, 10, 4, 4, and 3. That's unbelievable. That's all-around game, quite possibly your best defender. It's a team game, but obviously she kind of gets that motor going for the Lady Bruins.
Well, our best offensive play is defense, and we like to start with that play. And we've got several players that play great on-ball defense and great help-side defense, and so we're able to do that every night.
I tell you what I like. I like Jenny Boozer right now coming in, playing the defense that she does. She brings a lot of intangibles. I see her, she's scrappy on the floor, rebounds. There's just something about her that's gritty that I really like.
Well, Boozer, you can't give her much space because she'll throw daggers, and that's a weapon for us. And then she's really a natural 2 or 3. We've rolled her up to the 1, and she's done a beautiful job at that for us.
I said Jenny, I meant Jessie Boozer there, but she brings something to it. Coach King. Coach King, what does the Bruin Nation mean to you?
Man, I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Oh, boy. He's been working on that all week.
Bruin Nation, I've experienced Bruin Nation for 32 years. It gets better every year. This is the ultimate of Bruin Nation pride. This game has developed. I never thought there would be a bigger game than Brentwood-Franklin, but Brentwood-Ravenwood has exceeded the anticipation, the energy, the excitement, it's just going to be an electric atmosphere. 2 very good teams. They got us here last year. We're going to try to prevent that tonight.
Coach, I was getting ready for today. I knew it was going to be a big deal. I was trying to do a little light reading, so I caught up on Refuse to be Ordinary.
Oh, yeah.
10 championship traits by Dennis King, and it got my juices flowing, man. But one thing I'd love to know, you mentioned you've been here 32 years now. You took 4 years off.
I did.
And since you've come back about 7, 8 years ago, I don't know if it's coincidence. Obviously, a lot has to do with the players, but it seems to be the highest peak of Brentwood basketball on the boys' side. Talk a little bit about those 4 years off. Was there something about the way you approached the game that changed in those 4 years?
I guess you can put it into some perspective, and I'm sitting at home on my couch Tuesday and Friday nights and watching a lot of basketball. I wouldn't say there was a whole lot of difference. There's just been an incredible run of talent come through Brentwood Middle School, and we've had a couple move-ins that really supplemented that. And I'm just the benefactor of coming back at the right time and having the privilege and the opportunity to give a little structure to their talent.
Well, you all are so fun to watch. People all across the mid-state come to watch you play, exciting to play. A lot of great players have come through here. Obviously, Grant Teichman is playing great basketball. The run of point guards you've had, you've got McPherson now, Montague before that. I mean, we've really been able to watch for the last 6, 7, 8 years some very exciting basketball players.
Yeah, everything runs through the point guard. If you have a kid that's going to have the ball in his hands 70% of the time, if you have a talented kid that is the extension of the coach on the floor, getting things run the way you want them run, not making turnovers, getting easy baskets, pushing it down the floor for and executing our offense, it all starts there. I would take a point guard over a 6'10" kid if they were equal in talent.
I don't know if I agree with that, but that's for another debate. Coach Sig, we expect to see Ravenwood coming in tonight. They shoot the ball extremely well on the outside. Give us some plans of action, what you're going to try to do to stop that.
Well, identify their personnel, and that's what your preparation has been about. Who does what tendencies do they have? Can we identify those, recognize those, and contest?
Well, it's going to be a hard-fought battle. We don't have to get your kids up. Bruin Nation's up to the bat. G2 bars coming in here. Bruins got to stay on top, sitting in first place right now. Congratulations to both of you. Best of luck. Continue out this run into the district tournament coming up very soon. When we come back, we'll be joined by the principal, Kevin Kydell, and the old/new coach of football, Ryan Crawford. Stay with us. This is WCS Game Day. We'll see you right back.
Some things are just worth dying for.
Okay. Who do you want to win, Brentwood or Ravenwood? Which one? Roll to the one you want. Yay!
Welcome back to WCS Game Day here live from the Bruin Nation. Game Day powered by Springtree Media and Adidas.
Adidas team, they are all in with WCS Sports Conference. Very proud to do it. Adidas team and WCS Sports Conference, a winning combination, all in together.
Let's welcome Kevin Condell, principal of the Bruin Nation himself, and football coach Ryan Crawford to the stage. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Kevin, tell me what, you're a sports guy. You've been around sports your whole life. You've coached. You love this stuff. If this doesn't get your blood flowing, what does this do for your school?
Oh, this is fantastic. We're so excited that WCS Game Day came. We have the greatest fans in Williamson County, the greatest fans in the state of Tennessee. And so for us to be able to showcase how much school spirit they have, we're really excited that you guys came today.
Coach Crawford, been gone for 3 years. You had a great run here, your first time as the head football coach, the only football state championship in the history of the school, and what a special one it was. Been gone 3 years, now you're back. Obviously your staff is a little bit different, but kind of like riding a bike. Has much changed?
More than you would think has changed probably, particularly faculty-wise, and obviously I don't know any of these students. You know, the seniors were freshmen when I left here, but I mean, it's the same basic concept. I understood what the school mission was. I understood Mr. Caudel's mission. I know what this school is about and what a great academic place this is, and how you got to take the kids we've got and execute. And it's fun to take these guys and see how you stack up against people across the state.
Mr. Caudell, I know it's got to be awesome right now. We're sitting on one state championship for our entire sports conference, and Brentwood hosted. I mean, that's just adding to the total of 64 state championships. That's just an unbelievable number.
It really is. It's a lot of hard work on the part of the kids. It's a lot of hard work on the part of the coaches. They do a fantastic job of preparing these kids. The parents, the community are very supportive. They do whatever it takes to help these kids be successful. And so, you know, I think, you know, as you said, we have one. We had a couple more that were very close. Our golf team was state runner-up. Our cross-country team was also state runner-up. We had a bowler that finished second in the state just last week. So we're really excited about what's taken place so far this school year, and really excited about what this winter has and what the spring is going to bring for us also.
All right, Tate, since we got these foremost experts on basketball, it's going to come to our favorite time of the pick'em section. We're going to go across real quick, girls side, boys side. We're going to pick tonight's winners. I'd be very interested to hear what you two have to say about these games, okay? So we're going to start real quick on the Division II side. Page versus Cascade. This is the girls' side. Page versus Cascade.
I got to go with Cascade. I hope Moondog gets it, but I got to go with Cascade.
Williamson County, all the way, Page High School.
Since Coach Hatley transferred as assistant principal from Brentwood to assistant principal at Page High School, we got to believe that Coach Hatley's made an influence on the programs over there.
I think I agree with you. I think right there it's a moving game for Page. Page goes in and gets one. Cascade not exactly playing a great. I'm going to go with Page right there because they're coming in with a couple of losses. Fairview, Lady Jackets versus Montgomery Central.
The Yellow Jackets get the sweep over Montgomery Central. It's going to be a good night for them tonight.
I will concur with Coach Matthews here.
I'm going to have to stay with the Brentwood connection. Ellen Brown was a wonderful teacher here. She's now assistant principal at Fairview, and I think Ellen will have helped their basketball program as well.
Wayne McGowan, Lady Jackets build the program there, doing a pretty good job. I think they can go in and get them a win against winless Montgomery Central. So we'll pick Fairview as well. Big Six, going to the Big Six. The Indy Nation versus Centennial, hosting Centennial, both coming off tough losses. Who do you have?
I'm going with Centennial. I like the way they played Ravenwood the other night. Independence having a hard time scoring points. They don't have a whole lot of wins, but Tony Hill's got the Lady Cougars playing the best basketball that I ever remember at Centennial High School.
Yeah, I was able to see Centennial play against our girls, and they gave us a really good basketball game for a half, and I'm going to do the same thing and take the Lady Cougars.
All right. I'm going to have to go the opposite way. I'm going to have to go with Indy. I think they came in here Tuesday night, and they looked pretty good, and so I think they've got a great shot tonight.
I think great coaches think alike. I agree. Indy right now is going to score a little bit more points. Centennial is going to come off that loss of Ravenwood. Can't tell how they'll bounce back. He's starting 3 sophomores, a freshman, and maybe a junior. I think you're right. Indy wins that game, the Lady Eagles. Franklin versus Summit, battle of the good ones 2.
The one that won the first one, Miss Goodwin, Carrie Goodwin at Franklin. They got a better basketball team. I think she's done a great job there. They're probably the 3rd best team, 4th best team in this district. They get the win over the Spartans.
I'm going to echo that as well.
And I'm going to have to go back to that Brentwood connection. Miss Dickerson was the principal at Brentwood High School, and she is a huge basketball fan, and she is making sure that the Rebels come out on top today.
I agree. I think the Lady Spartans, Old Sparty on the ladies' side is a little bit up and down right now. I think Carrie Goodwin has a program that's looking to be on the up and up. I agree. I think Franklin, Lady Rebels roll. All right, moving over to the boys' side. Boys' side of things right now, Page versus Cascade. Who do you have?
Page. I like what Ringstaff's doing. Coach Caudill's a Page guy.
Right. He's a Page guy.
I think they get the win. They're getting better. They're playing good basketball.
I'm sure that Mr. Caudill's already said Randy Hatley's got to rub off in every area, so we're going to go with Page on the boys' side as well.
I have to agree. We're going to go with Page.
All right, so we're going to keep it in the counter right here. We got 4 for Page. Page coming off a very close 1-point loss to Marshall County. That tells me right now that Page is knocking on the door of being pretty good, so I'm going to go with Page as well. Fairview versus Montgomery Central.
I think Fairview's going to get the upset. I think they'll get it.
They have never won every time you've picked them.
I know that, but I can't keep picking again. I think they're going to get it. It's going to be a good weekend for Fairview.
It's obviously Fairview because Montgomery Central is not located in the central area of Montgomery County. So they're not sure where they are, so Fairview all the way.
I love it.
And I got to go with Fairview, and unlike Tate, they win every time I pick them, so I'm taking Fairview.
Go Coach King, man. Get you 2 in a row. They just won their first game in the district the other night. Go get you another one. That'd be great. I know the 3 total, but in the district, be their second one. Big 6. Indy Nation, Greg Glass's group coming in against Centennial, Coach Johnson's group. This ought to be an interesting matchup right there, trying to move in the district.
It is. A lot of firepower, a lot of good guard play. This one's a little bit tough for me, but I think Independence is playing really well. I love the Murphy brothers. When they're hitting, they're going to score a lot of points, which we saw the other night. Independence gets a win.
Scott Blade, Brian Rector. I'm trying to lean which one. I've known Brian longer than I knew Scott. So using my football connection, I've got to go Centennial.
Oh.
And I'm going to
makes no sense.
It makes a lot of sense, Coach. I'm going to have to go with Independence after that big win they had over the Bruins, and so I think they're playing some good basketball, and so we think they'll continue.
Independence has looked like a roller coaster all year long. We know they had the firepower of the Murphy brothers, but it's up, down. I think tonight is a down game because they were up for you guys. Centennial Steals won at Indy. Franklin versus Summit, Old Sparty.
I'm going to go with Old Sparty. I know Franklin's sitting in number 2. They're the biggest team in the district. I like the Carter boys. I like what Summit's doing. Old Sparty rolls them tonight.
Well, back in the day when I was here many, many years ago, the Franklin-Brentwood rivalry was something special. So it's just almost impossible. It's in my contract. I can't be for Franklin, so I have to pick Summit.
Well, I'm going to have to go with the Brentwood connection again, and one of your old coaches. Coach Winfrey's over there at Franklin High, and I think he may give some motivation to those kids in the locker room before the game tonight. So I'm going to go with Franklin.
Well, I think Franklin right now is poised. Franklin right now is sitting and hoping that Brentwood loses tonight, because if Franklin wins out, they're going to win the district championship. So right now, Franklin is poised. They're focused. I'd like to see Old Sparty. They're in my heart, but I'm going to go with the Rebellion tonight of Franklin. Which brings us to tonight's matchup, Battle of the Woods 2. Ravenwood coming in here looking to be a big-time upset alert. What do we have, Tate?
Girls side, Dixon County, everybody thought they were going to be the winner. The Lady Bruins come back and avenge that loss. They've got really, really balanced offense. They've got probably the best player in the league, Jenny Roy. Melissa Harris is doing a great job at Ravenwood. She's getting that program better, but she doesn't have it good enough. The Lady Bruins win tonight.
Fighting Siegenthalers. I'm going with Bonnie Siegenthaler and the Lady Bruins.
I agree with you, Coach. Coach King's got the book Refuse to be Ordinary. Coach Sig's book is Refuse to Lose. There is no way that the Lady Bruins are losing tonight.
I don't know. Y'all better pump the brakes real quick now. Patrick Whitlock's sitting over there right now. He's got so much locker room material posted for these guys to come in here poised for the upset. You better look out. Ravenwood could possibly come in here and steal one, but you know what? It ain't tonight, because the Brentwood Bruins are going to roll. Well done. I think Brentwood brings too much to the table tonight. Brentwood rolls. Thank you for coming to the WCS game today. I want to give a quick shout out real quick. Thank you so much to Ronnie Adcock and the Brentwood High Lead Department. Have done a fantastic job. Thanks so much to the Brentwood High School Best Buddies program over there. They're in the house. Thank you so much to Kevin Kydell for allowing us to come in here tonight. This is WCS Game Day live from Brentwood. We'll see you next time.